Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Wednesday, June the 8th, 2016. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we come together in these live sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, structure of the market, and we drill down to our targets, our trade levels, and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room, so I'll put up my contact information, but before I do, please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and the trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. My contact information, quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. You will need a Skype account. Send me a Skype contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And if you like this morning leap, we do them every morning. There's close to 400 of them up on YouTube. Just do a search on YouTube for Quantum Leap Futures. And if you like what I do, follow me on Twitter at Crazy2. So let's take a look at what happened yesterday. We were expecting that overnight high at 16 16 and a quarter was going to get taken out. Our main hypothesis was a rotation down to the 2108 and then rotate back up through and take out that 2116 and a quarter overnight high and continue on and test into the 20s with the late day probe. Our secondary hypothesis was to have a false breakout or a failure to break out and then a move down. And then our third hypothesis was to come up or to fail to break out, go down and go down into that, get a trend day down into that 2104 level, possibly even down to the 97.50. And then our alternative hypothesis was a move up, a breakout, chop around in the 12 to 14 level, and then get a continuation up into the 21.22 or 21.28 area. Kind of had a combination. We broke out, held above the range high from the prior day, and then we went and took out that overnight high and just continued higher. It looks like it was going to be a trend day, and then we rolled over at 18 after hitting that measured move target and rotated all the way back inside of the prior day in the upper distribution and tested that key CLVN that we were looking at and the LVN at the 2109.50 and closed right around there. So it's kind of a weird day, very tight range. We only had an 8 3/4 point range. This is typical of moving into the summer trading, and hopefully we'll see some volatility coming into the rest of the week. News for today, we had Canadian building permits, which came out. It was a big miss. 10 o'clock, we've got NYSER GDP estimate, and we've got JOLTS jobs at 10 o'clock, and then the big one today will be crude inventories, and then, of course, we've got 10-year bond auction at 1 p.m. So not a lot of news today, but still have to be careful as it will have some type of reaction. Taking a look at the macro to the micro, just taking a look at a simple candlestick chart with a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA, starting at the monthly. You can see we've had this long trend. We challenged it at the end of 2015 and beginning of 2016, but now we're getting into possible continuation pattern. The idea is still to go up into the 2134 and get that unequalized high retested. And we're trading near it still. Whether we get there today or this week is questionable, but this trend is still very much intact. Going to the weekly, same thing. We've got good slope, good separation, bit of a technical gap on the weekly. This 2075 area is where I expect to come back and test if we come back and close the gap, although we don't have to, although, statistically speaking, a Thursday and Friday we usually get a downward movement. The week before OPEX, we've got quad witching coming up next week. Contracts will roll tomorrow. I will be trading the next contract. I'll roll sometime tonight and go into Thursday with the new September contract. But the trend is up on the weekly. On the daily, same thing. Good slope, good separation. Price is paralleling the 9 nicely on the daily. Going into the intraday, same thing. You got slope and separation, movement to the upside. Going into the 1 hour, same thing. We're getting a continuation pattern here after violating the trend that was started to the downside in the Globex. Nice little Mr. Sneaky technical gap that led the turn up. We do have a naked cross here at 21.11 1/4. I'm expecting a move back into the 21.10 area, and I'll show you why in a minute. But you have to go with the trend. The trend is your friend, and I will be trying to buy dips today. Going to the 30-minute, you see good slope, good separation. We came back. We've just closed a little technical gap. See if they bounce off this 21.13 and get continuation. On the 15-minute, same thing. Good slope, good separation. And on the 5-minute, we've come into this consolidation. There's a potential cup and handle on this. Let's just take a look at the setup here. So we have come back in, and people don't realize that this is considered to be a handle, even though it's only a single candle, and it's come back into validate the pattern. If we draw the rim line and then put our extension on, I don't take the extreme lows, I take the average low, and this is giving us a measured move up to 21.15.50 and extended move to 21.16. So just a little cup and handle on the 5-minute. It does not get violated until we get below the 2012.50 area. I'm just going to get rid of this. All right, so let's get that off. Let's take a look at the big picture. We see we've got our breakout day on Monday. Tuesday was a little bit of a continuation, but we did close near the lows. So we've got a little bit of a shooting star going on here. So it'll be interesting to see how we react to this. We have broken out of this balance. Now, the overall balance after the breakout of the value area that we are in, that is centered around this 2051 composite VPOC, when we broke out the 6 days of balance, 7 days of balance, 8 if you count the holiday, the most traded price within this is still all the way back at that 2087.75. The 4-day of balance before the breakout, we accepted value higher at 94.50, and then we broke out, and so far we are in price discovery with nothing above us except this 21.18 and a couple measured moves. So key line in the sand today is going to be the same as it was yesterday. Well, it was our key trading line, 21.09.50. Below that, I'm looking for a bigger move back into the 21.04 1/4. 04 1/4 is going to be our key line in the sand, and below that, a move back towards the 21.01 and 20.94. And if we don't hold there, a move back into 2087.75. The key support is still going to be below us here at 2082.50. Below there, we get into this distribution zone with the sun-determined fair value down here, and I expect it to come all the way back down into the 2050s and chop around in this area as we mature the auction down here. So going to the overnight, of course, we're trading in this upper distribution. We're going to have a double distribution. I doubt that we get a half hour to go. I doubt we'll get a VPOC shift, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. But currently, the overnight VPOC is down here at 21.1025, which is just below yesterday's VPOC at 20.11 1/4. This is why I expect to come back down here and test this. It is the overnight VPOC, and we came down is at the bottom part of this value area, just near the value area low. And just below that, we've got our key line in the sand, which is going to be the 2109.50. Going to have two key lines in the sand, one here at 0950 and one here at 2104 1/4, and then our key support area, which is going to be down in that 8250 area. It should be 8250. Okay, our overnight low is down at the 0650. So we actually broke below yesterday's range low in the overnight session and put in a 0650. And we've got a overnight high. It's a week high up here at 2114.75. We probably will put in a new high even before I'm done this session or before we go into the RTH. But as it stands right now, our overnight high is here at 1475, just below the value area high from yesterday. We have a LVN here at 2112.50. 2112.50 is just right sitting on Monday's high that we were trading off of. I'm going to be using that as a trade area. It's also an LVN from yesterday. So key level, if we get below there, you get a nice trade into that 2111 1/4 and 2110 1/4, and testing the range low from yesterday and the open and our key line in the sand. Above us right now, we've got the the value area high. If we open up here, we're going to be opening up inside a range, inside a value. We'll probably get an open auction in range. So I'm going to put a trade level at the 15 1/4. And then there's nothing we really need from our overnight session other than that. So move that out of the way. Really don't have much that we can use here. We have all our levels to the downside. So we've got the 09 1/4. Below that, we've got the naked VPOC from Monday at 2108 1/4, and the naked close at 2108 with the overnight low at 650. The NFP, scene of the crime, is back here at 2105. Our key line in the sand of 04 1/4, and then target at 0150. The range low from Monday at 99.50. I'm going to put trade area there, and then the 99 naked VPOC, and then our warning line for larger rotation down into the lows here. Our daily ATR is running 2144. As you keep talking about, we're compressing here still. So off of 2114.75 minus the 2144 puts our downside ATR target down to 93 1/4. Although that might change if we put in a higher high. Off of the overnight low of 2106.50, our upside ATR target is 2128. And then our weekly doesn't change to the upside, but it does change to the downside, 2118 minus the weekly ATR, which is 55.24. That takes us down to 20.6275. So that doesn't shift. Okay, so let's take a look at the levels to the upside. Again, there's not much to go on. Above the 15.25, I'd be looking for a move up into the 18 and break above 18, put in a new all-time adjusted high, and I'll be looking for, there was a measure move I wanted to take a look at here. Let me just bring this up. No, I thought we were creating a zipper and we're not. So we really don't have a lot to go on here. Let me just check the flex levels. We've got the 21.25, which we already have, and then there's really not much above us. Oops, wrong one. So, I mean, right now, we don't have a lot on the upside. So above the 16, I don't think you want to be short. I thought we'd go back up into the 18 yesterday and test it. We did. We did have a significant move down off of that 18, but that was somewhat unexpected. So as it stands right now, what's our main hypothesis? An open auction in range, probably take out the overnight high, chop around in this area, or put in a new overnight high as we're going into, looks like we're going to put a new overnight high in right here. But the main hypothesis is a rotation down and then find buyers somewhere in the 12 to 10 area and rotate back up and continue the move up towards that 21.34. So hypo 1 is a open auction in range, move down, find responsive buyers down here, and then rotate up through the range and go and put in another high and continue the trend up towards that 21.34. Secondary hypothesis sounds very similar to the last 3 days. A open auction in range, a move up, a false breakout or a failure to break out, and then rotate back down into the 21.10 area, chop around here, and then get a continuation wave down towards the overnight low at 21.0650, taking out this 21.0825, and possibly come down into the 21.04. We do have the ability to come all the way down to the 20.93 without violating the range. Hypo 3 is a failure to break out, move down into the 21.0825, chop around here, and then continuation and a bigger move down towards the 2100 and possibly all the way down into that 82 and our key support. So taking all of this back and coming back into the balance below at somewhere in around 88 to 82 and testing the lower CLVN and our key support area. And then hypo 4 is open auction or open test drive, come up here, break immediately above 18, come up, chop around here, and then get a continuation wave up all the way up into the 21.34 on a continuation trend day. This says yesterday, this move back says that we could see some weakness coming in. We finally found some sellers at that 18 level, and they rotated us down. I don't think the trend is done yet. I think we try to pop one more time, but you have to trade the levels, not what you think. That's why we have multiple hypotheses, so we don't get caught up in our own bias. We currently have, did we put in a new high yet? We have a new high at 21.15, so we one-ticked the 14.75. Put this up one more tick higher. And again, there's lots of time to go up and put in another high before the RTH. And we have to wait and see if we get a possible VPOC shift. It doesn't look like we should. We're going to have to put a fair amount of volume in. Taking a look at gold. Gold bounced again last night. Went and we came right back into that 2037 and then rotated right back up, and now we've gold's gone on a tear, and we hit that target at 1258. Currently trying to break around the above the 1260. It's a pretty strong move. It's a $25 rotation. So I think we're going to stall out here on gold, and if we fail to break the 1261.20, I'm looking for a move back and some balancing in around back in this microcomposite balance area, and a chop around the 1257.80. It's clear they found buyers again at the 1237 once they came back and retested that composite that goes back to 2008, and now they're getting a continuation pattern. Gold is not dead, and I'm still looking for that move back up into the test of 13s one more time, and possibly get the continuation up into this this distribution up here sometime later this year. At least that's my my long-term hypothesis. Just take a quick look now. I'm starting to keep an eye on crude. Where is my other crude chart? So right now we're in this distribution zone between the we've broken out of this distribution zone between the 50-70 and the 48 area. So we're back up and around this 51C HVN. Expect some chop in this area. They're accepting price. We're in breakout. Key line to watch on crude today is if we get back below the 50.67, I'd be looking for them to come down and close this gap down here, in around the 50.35 area. Still working at trying to learn the profile on crude, but I've started looking at it, and we're going to add it into our summer trading as the ES gets less volatility and less movement and less range. We're going to need something to replace that so that we can get some movement. And I'm looking at crude and possibly even adding the euro in as well with everything that's going on in Britain. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.